Welcome back everyone. Today we're finally talking about speaker isolation and whether it still matters. So, let's see first what speaker isolation is all about, which systems are currently on the market, and whether it still matters in the age of DSP-controlled speakers. Well, speaker isolation is all about decoupling your monitor speakers from the surface they are currently sitting on. In my case, this would be my desk. Imagine the following scenario. You place a glass of water on your table and play a track that has a good amount of bass in it. Enjoy this Jurassic Park moment as you can see the water create ripples. Without isolation, a lot of the low frequency energy will get passed on directly into your work surface. Now, imagine there to be other objects on your surface. They might start to vibrate ever so slightly, thus mudding up what might otherwise be a very clean bass signal. Isolation pads aim to minimize the amount of energy that is passed onto the speaker stands, and there are many different types of them. There are foam pads, for example, like these from Orchestral, that have a high-density foam. Isolation stands, like the ones that you can see here, pucks and cones, and even your speaker stands might come with some kind of isolation built in. If you get to a specific weight class, like these Focal Twin 6s here, you will also need to pay attention to what product you're getting, as too much weight might overcompress your isolation pads and thus negate its effect. Well, I guess the first question that you might have is, do you need a specialized product, or can you use some household tools like kitchen sponges, for example, right? Sure, you can. Give it a try. It might not have the same acoustic properties, but it might still work to some extent. And one of the reasons that I'm going with these specific isolation stands here, though, is so that I can angle and tilt the speakers a bit in addition. Those come with inserts to adjust the tilt of the speaker, either upwards or downwards, which is very useful if you want to have them slightly raised or lowered. Even foam pads like the Orchestral ones come with a wedge to adjust the tilt. I've been doing a lot of testing back in the days whether I can hear a difference sonically, and yes, I was able to hear that. But it's certainly a topic of discussion and a hot one at that. For me, the low ends turned out much cleaner and less muddy, but it's surely no tool to fix a room that has crazy room modes. Given the relatively low cost of these pads though, I just stick them on and let them do their job. Okay. Well, now you know about the different kinds of products and might ask yourself, but is this actually still necessary with DSP-controlled speakers being quite popular these days? Well, this is a bit tricky to answer. First of all, those speakers here are not DSP controlled, but in general, every kind of correction works best if it is supported in some way via acoustic treatment. Imagine you'd put a speaker into an indoor swimming pool and apply the most extreme room correction mankind has ever heard. I don't think it will sound so good. Okay, maybe in that case speaker isolation pads are as useful as a whammy bar on a tuba, but I guess you get my point, right? The less hard digital signal processing has to work, the better it will sound. Plus, a DSP will not physically decouple anything, so yes, my answer would be that there is still merit in using a relatively cheap, easy-to-use decoupling system if you want to get the most out of your speakers. But what are your opinions on that topic? Does it make a sonic difference to you? And if so, what type of isolation are you currently using? Let me know in the comments down below, and see you again next time!